Hi, um, my name is Daniel, and I'll be the host of Leap of Faith. I don't know how you found this channel, but just listen in, and I'll tell you. I'll explain how this channel is going to work. Now, I started this channel, and I have a blog, which I'll have the link to on my user page. Um, this whole thing is about. I came to the realization through talking with friends, helping them with their idea, helping them with their problems, or just giving them advice, that when you're talking to someone, if you can just make a connection between something they know about, say a video game, like this one, like what we're going to be doing, and connect it to somehow how it can help them. A situation, maybe something in a video game, they're running from something and they're running from something in real life, and how you're going to face it there, it's whatever. It can really build an image in the person's head that maybe they're not getting across clear when people are trying to talk to them. So, that being said, this whole thing started with a conversation. A very good friend of mine. Um, she was, and I was, trying to give her some counseling advice, whatever. Long argument or whatever, and I just started. Uh, I mentioned Assassin's Creed, something from Assassin's Creed, taking a leap of faith, which is where the whole name for this comes from. And she said, as funny as that line was, as hard as it was for her to, keep from crying or whatever from all the stuff I was telling her, she said it meant a lot. And I said, okay, well, I'm glad it, made an impact. So I started making more and more references from what I knew about Assassin's Creed and putting them into my analogy for her and how her problems were. And she said it was really eye-opening because she could start seeing a better picture of it. It started making more sense what I was saying to her than just if I was just telling her the same stuff over and over. So that's good. Small note, you'll probably see me doing a lot of hand stuff. This a lot. I attribute it to being Italian, but that's a side note. Anyway, the point is, um, so after we started talking a bit more, and uh, I jokingly made a comment that said, Daniel, uh, something about video games to real life, one of those counsel, something really goofy or whatever. She said, that's a really good idea because this is, really helping stuff. So I decided that maybe it could work. So I've created a blog and I've created a YouTube channel here uh, to coexist with each other. Now, the point of this all is this. I will take any of your letters you send me. You send me something you need advice, you have a problem with something, you just, need some clearance, need some closure on it, you need some advice, like I said, uh, just need someone to talk to, someone to tell your stuff to, you need someone to listen and give a little input, just send me a message, um, detailed out with what your problem is or what you need to talk about or who you need to talk about with or whatever. And put in your favorite video game or any video game that you're really, really into right now or something you would really like to see me do an analogy to. Now, with that comes, I don't know every video game out there. So you might give me a video game that I don't know about or I've never played, but that won't mean that I won't go with it anyway. It just means that I'll have to go and do some research. Now, it might take a day, it might take two. 1 to 2 days minimum is the amount of time I request for you to wait for me to give you a response, just so I can, really get into whatever your video game you mentioned was, so I can learn about it and learn how to build an analogy for it for you. Now, also, because I don't know where everyone is in video games or how experienced you are in the video game or video games at all, you don't have to be in either way, but if you could just write in there, write in the message where you are, at what point in the game you are, how many hours you've played into the game. Because if I know that you've played for 2 to 5 hours into a game, I can kind of get a rough estimate of where you might be in the game. Or if you say I'm at this point here, I can find a reference and say, okay, so I know not to A, spoil the game for you, and B, get a better idea of how to help you. how to give a better picture for you, because you might be at the beginning of the game and you just give me the game name and I'll go all the way to the end and you'll be like, I didn't even know that was going to happen. You know, I don't even know what you're talking about. So you can see where the conflict arises there. Um, so yeah, that's that. Um, Another note is that along as far as time constraints is the maximum amount of time it might take me to reply to a comment will be maybe a week. I have a real life too. I have real life problems I have to deal with and all this stuff, but I'm making it a priority to make your letters, your messages, whatever, important so I can respond to them as fast as I can and as best I can. Now, we'll also have a blog that will mirror this, and some of your questions may appear, uh, some of your answers may, the answers to your questions may appear on the blog, or some of them may appear on here on YouTube, or some of them may appear on both. Um, but if it's only going to appear on one, I'll send you a message, I'll contact you and say, okay, here is the link to your answer, and I'll make it public for everyone to see. Now, other than that, my general policy is that if you put any people's names in there or anything, I'm gonna, I guess the word would be censor, not necessarily, just, keep it private. I'm just gonna say person one or person two or something like that to keep the names anonymous. That's the word, anonymous. Keep the people's names anonymous, so maybe you don't want people knowing who you are. You don't want people knowing who you're talking about, and I understand that. So unless by a specific request, I will keep all names anonymous. But I'll send you the link, and you can see it for yourself. So that'd be cool. Trying to think of anything else I'm trying to remember. Most of this stuff is on the blog. In this video that I wrote it up on the blog. Uh, thinking. Oh, okay. So just keep in mind that it may take a little time for me to respond. I have stuff I have to deal with too, just like you have stuff to deal with, and I'd appreciate it if you just give me a little bit of time. If it is extremely, extremely important, something's extremely urgent, and it needs to be talked about immediately, I am available for instant messaging sessions. I prefer Skype, but I can I can adjust to your messenger system if you prefer. The only thing with that is I will only do instant message uh, conversations, or whatever, in dire situations, or if it's extremely urgent, or you can request it in advance, and I'll say, okay, well, a week from now on this day, just contact me, and we can talk to each other or something like that. If you miss the appointment or whatever, just send me a message, hit me up, and tell me why you couldn't make it, and I'll adjust to try and meet with you as soon as possible, probably in the next day. So I understand some people, have a lot of things that are really, really pressing. They just need to get it out and tell someone and get some advice, and I understand that, and that's what the messaging service for me is for you guys. But it's not to be abused. It's not just, oh, my boyfriend broke up with me, so I need to talk to you on instant message. I mean, it's gotta be something very big or drastic, or just something that's really shaking you up, or just make an appointment for it, and I can totally understand that. So thank you guys for listening to this. Thank you for viewing in. Watch other videos on here. Watch the videos. Read the blogs that I post. Maybe you'll see a question answered that you might have about the same game. I don't know. But anyway, just a quick reminder, these are my opinions. These are my observations and my, ideas and analogies that are coming from what you're telling me. It doesn't mean I'm necessarily going to be right. It doesn't mean I'm necessarily going to be wrong. But I'll help you where I can. And I hope it really does help. If it doesn't, let me know. Give me feedback. I like hearing feedback. If something doesn't work for you, or if I gave you a piece of advice that you thought was really bad, let me know. Give me feedback. I'm new to this pretty much, as far as, advising people I've never even met or whatever. So send feedback. If you like it, subscribe. If you like what I'm doing, send it to your friends, show it to your friends or whatever. Remember, you don't have to be a gamer or someone who plays all the video games or necessarily have to be good at video games to ask about this. If you, I mean, as long as there's a story of some sort that I can work with or gameplay issues, I can generally try and help you out. So overall, I'm really looking forward to answering anyone's questions, helping people out, and I'll be posting any questions I receive either on here or the blog, and or both even. And I really look forward to helping you guys. Thank you so much, and I wanted to give a big special thank you to a dear friend, my friend Aaron, for helping me really go through with this. So thank you.